Let's create an object. So let me type org equal to, and let me give a property called role, and let me type it as dev. Okay, and let's take one more property, and that is maybe age. Okay, and 35. Fine. Now let me create one more variable. So I'm gonna name it as cop, and this cop is equal to org. Okay, let's print these two things now. So let's write console.log org, and let me copy this one, and let me write cop here. Okay, cop. Right, now let me print this. So node app.js. Yeah, you see guys, we got two objects and both are same. We have two properties, role and age. Right, now I want to change the age property of my cop object. Okay, so I'm gonna write cop dot age equal to, let's say, 50. Okay, so we are printing both things again. So let's see what we'll get. Let me write here app.js. Yeah, you see guys, when I change it, age property of my cop object, it automatically reflected in the original object as well. That means whatever the changes that I am doing or that are taking place at copied object are reflecting in the original object. Okay, this is happening because in JavaScript objects are reference types. Okay, so let me explain what I'm saying. Let me go to browser. Yeah, so let me take an object that is org, right, and this is a memory, right? So in the memory, this is a memory. In the memory we have an object and we have a property called age 35. Okay, now when you are creating a new variable and you are making it equal to org, that means when you are creating a variable called cop and making it equal to org, here extra object is not getting created in the memory space, guys. It is not happening here. Instead, reference is passed. That means this cop will also point to the same object. Reference is passing here. That means the address. Now this cop is also knows where this object is sitting, and this cop will point to that object. So that is why when you are changing anything in the cop, that is reflecting in the org, because both are pointing to same object in the memory. Okay, now when it comes to primitive types, let's say we have a equal to 5 and b equal to a. Literally what happens is that 5 will sit in memory and a will be identifier. Using this we can access 5. When you make b equal to a, value is passed actually. So that means for this 5 it will be b. So this b is the identifier now. So whatever the changes that you make to this b will not impact this a. Okay, this concept is called pass by value. Pass by value, and this phenomenon or this concept is called pass by reference. Pass by reference in JavaScript. Okay, so let me go back to VS Code. Now I don't want this to happen. That means when I'm changing the property of my copied object, when I'm changing the age property, I don't want it to impact or to affect the original object. So guys, to make this, we have a method in JavaScript that is Object.assign. So that is Object.assign. Okay, what is Object.assign? So guys, Object.assign is a method that is used to copy values or properties of one or more objects to target object or to another object. Okay, now this will take two parameters. First parameter is target. Second parameter is sources, which is nothing but one or more objects. Okay, so let's quickly understand what is this. So let me create a object. So I'm gonna name it as a, right, and let's give you a property called, let's say, maybe age equal to, let's say, 45. Okay, now let's come down and let's write here let b equal to, right, let b equal to Object.assign. Instead of target here, let's write empty object. Now in sources, let's put our a. Okay, and let me print console.log b. Yeah, now let's run this one. Yeah, you see guys, we got an object which has a property age 45. Okay, now let's do one more thing. Let's write maybe name equal to, let's say, Srikanth. Okay, now let's see what we'll get. Yeah, you see we got an object which contains age 45. Along with that we are adding one more property which is name, that is Srikanth. Okay, now I hope you got why or what is the purpose of object.assign. Okay, so let me remove this one. Yeah, and let me also remove this one, and let's comment this one. We don't want this now, so let's take this one now. Let's take this one and let's paste it here. Yeah, awesome. Let B, instead of B, let's give it as COP. Okay, let COP equal to object.assign. Here instead of all these things, just A. So just A is required. Sorry, not A, org. Yeah, awesome. Now let me clear this one. So let me write node app.js. Yeah, oh, A is not defined. Sorry, let me remove this one. We don't need this one. Yeah, so let me clear this one and let me run it again. Node app.js. Yeah, you see guys, now only the property which I changed, the copied object, only that is changed, and the original object is still 35. It's not changed, right? So our problem is solved, right? Now guys, same thing we can achieve using one more way, that is spread operator. Using spread operator. Now what is this spread operator? So we use spread operator when you want to include all the elements in an array or all the elements in an object into a new array or a new object. So let me quickly explain that. So let's take a array called let A equal to 2 3 4 5. This is an array and I want all these elements in a new object. Okay, so for that let me take an object, let B equal to, the syntax of the spread is 3 dots. So it will start with 3 dots and then we should write the name. So the name of the array is A. Okay, sorry, we are missing one more dot. Yeah, you see A. Now let's see what it will print. So I'm gonna write console.log B. Yeah, now let me do this one. Yeah, you see guys, we are printing object which contains all the elements 2 3 4 5. This is what spread operator does. Okay, so let me cancel out all these things. We don't want these ones, and instead of these let me comment this one and let me write let COP equal to let's take an object and let's write here 3 dots and then let's name org. Simple. Now let me type node app.js. Yeah, you see the same thing is happening, nothing is changing. So basically we can do this using two ways. One is using object.assign method and second way is using spread operator. Okay, now let's do something interesting. I'm gonna have one more object inside this org object, which is nested object. So let's take an object, let's name it as skills. Okay, skills, skills, and let's write here sorry, I'm missing comma here. Yeah, so let's write here languages, that is English something. Okay, language English. Now let's take one more array. So let's name it as scores, and that should be 2 3 4 5 something. Okay, yeah, awesome. Now let's print this one. Let me clear this one first. Okay, yeah, let me print node app.js. Yeah, you see everything is updating. We have first object and the copy second object. Okay, now I want to change this language English to science in my copied object. That means in my COP. So I can do something COP dot what is object name? Skills. So skills dot I can access lang and I will name it as let's say SCIENC, science. Okay, so let me clear this one again and let me write node app.js. Yeah, you see I have changed it to science. This is changed to science, but interestingly the original object also got affected. Now this is a problem, right? Because we are trying to keep our copied object completely independent or completely separate to original object, but again when we have this nested object called skills and when we are trying to change that property, it's affecting the original object. Same thing happens with scores also, guys. So let's say where is that? Yeah, here. So let's write here COP dot SCORE scores of 0, and let me change it to Srikanth. Okay, let me print that. So I'm gonna write node app.js. You see, same thing. First thing is Srikanth, and here also first element is Srikanth. It's affecting both objects. Now, do we have any other way to overcome this problem? We have a method, we have an approach to overcome this problem, that is using JSON.parse, JSON.stringify. So let me show you what I meant. So instead of this, let's comment this one and let's write here, let COP equal to JSON.parse. I'm sorry, spelling should be small p, I think. parse. And inside this one, let's put JSON.stringify, STRANGIFI, stringify. And inside this one, let's pass org. Okay. Now let's see what will happen. Let me clear this one and let's print node app.js. Yeah, you see guys, only the second object is changed, Srikanth. And here also language science, here it's English. I mean, the original object is not affected, only the copied object is affected. My object is affected. Okay, now let's see how this is working. So first, the purpose of JSON.stringify is to convert object into JSON string. So whatever the object that you pass, it will convert that into JSON string. The purpose of this JSON.parse is it will convert whatever the JSON object that is passed into the plain JavaScript object, right? It will create a plain JavaScript object from JSON string. Okay, so that is COP, right? So that is why we are getting a new object which is COP, and if we are making any changes to that, they are not reflecting or impacting the original object. Oh, sorry, yeah, this one. Okay, yeah. Now let's do one more interesting thing. So let me go to the previous function, I mean the original object, and let me write here, let's say hi. So I have written say hi, and let me create a function here. So yeah, random function, and I'm gonna put a comma here. Yeah, so let's see what will happen now. Let me clear this one. Yeah, let me write node app.js. Yeah, you see guys, in the original object we have this function say hi, but the object which we copied, that is missing. Weird, right? Because we are solving a problem using this JSON.parse, but again it is giving us a problem, that is we are missing this function in the copied object. Now the question is, can we overcome this problem? Yes guys, we can overcome that problem using a module called lodash. Okay, so let me download that. I'm gonna clear it. Now let's write npm i lodash, lodash. Yeah, I hope the spelling is correct. Yeah, it's downloading. So we have this lodash installed. Inside this node modules we have this lodash. Now let's require that. So since we installed, let's require that. So I'm going to create a variable for that. Let's name it as load and let's require that one. So let me write here lodash. So I'm going to type lodash. Okay, so what we'll do is that let's go to this one and let's comment this one. We don't want it. Let's type let COP equal to LOD dot, we have a method which is deep clone. So we need to write, sorry, clone deep. Here it is showing already clone deep. Okay, and here let's pass org. Okay, simple. Now let me clear this one and let me write node app.js. You see guys, we got the function in our copied object. That means whatever the function that is there in original object is copied into our copied object successfully. It's not lost. Okay, so this is about lodash model. So when we talk about shallow copy, we are talking about Object.assign and spread operator. When we talk about deep copy, we are talking about JSON.parse. The copied object is completely isolated. Okay, that is about deep copy. So I hope you guys understood everything. If you found this video useful, please give it a like and subscribe guys. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.